Hey Cancer, it's me, Krishana, here with your mid-month reading. So this is actually pretty exciting, I feel. I actually have been, especially during the new moon that just happened in your guys' sign, I've been really connecting to Earth and Earth energies and wanting to sort of add more Earth to my reading. So I had these medicine cards that I've had forever and I never use them. This is my medicine card book. And these are my medicine cards. And I never use them. And I thought that would actually be a really cool addition to these readings because I find them to be quite accurate in their own way. And so I felt like, yeah, let's go ahead and do this, right? So I went ahead and I pre-shuffled the medicine cards and I wrote down notes. So if I'm looking at my little paper here, it's because I wrote down notes. Um, I'm not as proficient in particularly these, but you get the gist, you get the idea here. And so yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and start. Thank you for your likes, your shares, your subscriptions, and if you would like to book a reading, go ahead and hit me up with the information that's below. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. So, what are your medicine animals? We have the salmon, we have the turtle in reverse, and we have the crow. So let's go ahead and get started with this. We have the salmon. So the salmon is representative of inner wisdom. This is also the card that says you need to honor the path. Okay. And so in particular, when it comes to you guys, I feel like you guys are on some sort of journey. You don't necessarily know if this is the right place for you to be, and you don't necessarily know if you should, sort of abandon ship. And I've learned in my path or in my journey that even when things seem a little bit off, there is an importance of the ritual of being. So the ritual of actually being there in that moment, and waiting until that tie breaks, rather than sitting there and just constantly moving from place to place. Sometimes that in itself is a form of lack of commitment to every area of your life. It's like one thing has been like and just very super vulnerable right now. I have been really, really working hard on my fitness and really working hard on my eating plans and things like that, and really trying to stay really healthy. And I noticed that for a while, like the scale wasn't moving, and I was like, for real though? For real? And I mean, this has been months. Now, granted, I'm over 30, so this is it happens, your metabolism slows down and things like that. But I was just like, really? But I was seeing sort of a change in my body and change in my clothes and things like that. And there has been so many times that I've just kind of wanted to abandon ship because things weren't moving the way that I thought that they should be moving. Things weren't really looking the way that I thought they should look by several months of sticking to the path that I was on. But to continue through this path is to continue through the path of health. So does that kind of make sense? It's like sometimes you really have to sort of keep pressing forward, even if things don't look the way that you think they should at this particular moment. So, let's see. I have to like read my own notes. My writing sometimes can be pretty terrible. So we have the turtle in reverse. Um, okay, so you guys are crabs, and so you guys share. This is like a hard thing to say back to back. Share shells with the turtle. You guys have a shell, turtles have a shell. So I feel like this is actually a very perfect card for you guys. This is the turtle in reverse, and this is basically saying like you guys need to get up out of your shell. And so, for some people that might mean getting out of your head, with everything. It's sort of just being in the present moment and allowing, things to sort of just be and not feeling like you constantly have to like snap at them. You have to constantly like, hold on to things. You guys can actually, kind of step back for a second, let go, and reconnect into source. And if you guys have been isolating yourself from friends and family, can reconnect with those and find strength within that. One thing for me I've been doing is reconnecting to, I have a lot of females around me. And so I've been sort of in this cave of women and reconnecting with that feminine part of myself, and sort of healing through that. And so this is really about getting up out of your shell and get up out your shell and reconnecting with those things that feed you, while you're on this, while you're in this place. Because a lot of you guys also might be experiencing this thing where you feel like you're giving, because you guys are water signs, and that you're giving so much of yourself, and you're not necessarily getting, you're not necessarily receiving the way that you would like to, or the way that feels like it feeds you. But remember, you're the only one who can make you happy. Ultimately speaking, no one else can make you happy. Ultimately speaking, nothing else can make you fulfilled besides you. And so if it's like work situation where you feel like you're working so hard, but you're also not getting the money that you think you deserve, you're not getting, the praise that you think you deserve, really kind of like tap back into self and be like, oh, I'm the only one in control of that. Really. I'm the only one in control of true fulfillment. Not saying that other people won't appreciate you, but if you don't appreciate yourself, and the work that you do, without having this like sense um of give and reward kind of thing, then once you kind of tap back into that ideal, then you'll find yourself in a much sort of better place to be able to make the decisions that need to be made in order for you to express yourself more authentically. It's not about, these kind of like the give and appreciation and reward and da da da. It's not about that. It's about, what do I need, and what is authentic to what I need, you know. What would love do, as we think we've probably talked about before? What would love do? How would love feel, if it was in relation to myself, not necessarily in relation to everybody else around this. This is a very personal journey. The Mercury retrograde's coming up, so I'm pretty sure a lot of these will be like, in bright lights in your life. you know, hey, featuring right now, the path of reconnecting, and so, yeah, so definitely, reconnect. And then we have, the Crow. Now, this seems like a very ominous card to some. This can also represent death for some. It could represent magic for others. This particular card in this particular deck is actually about understanding that all things are born of. Now, it says in the card, all things are born of women. Now, that in itself really means that all things are sort of born in the darkness. All things are born in the unknown. All things are born in the whole universe was created out of darkness, And so this is sort of this ideal of, just because you're in the unknown right now, this is the best place for you to be. And even though it might feel a little chaotic at the moment, this is really where everything stems from. And it's through moving through that and going through the process of it, and not, and staying on path with where you are and where you're going. If for some of you, maybe you need to write down, just to remind yourself as to why you're here. Write down what your goal was when you first started this journey. If this has to do with work, start writing down your, when I got here, I wanted to be CEO of this company. Write it down, make it plain, and then start moving towards where you said you were going to go. If this is a love situation, write down what it was that you felt with that person when you first got with them. And so and be really truthful, because maybe when you got with this person, you were like, this isn't necessarily like my husband or wife material. I just wanted to be in here because I felt like I could heal them. That's for some people, that's it. Or I did feel like this was my wife or my husband. And in all the stuff that's happened, in the process, has kind of moved me away from those feelings. And so, for me to stay back on track and really see where I'm going, you need to write that down. Like, I wanted this person to be my husband or my wife. And then you sort of, from there, assess, okay, so this is happening, or no, this isn't happening now. And I need to actually make whatever decisions I need to make to move forward into what I want. If this has to do with money, For some people, you were like, okay, I have a goal. This is my goal. I want to save this amount of money. And then, certain things happen within your life, and you, or maybe for some people who make money like daily, it's really hard to save money when you constantly have it, And so for some people, it's like maybe that's what happened. But either way, now it's like, okay, I need to tap it back into to what my original goals were. So that's what I see here, as far as, the representation of not only the three cards, but of the pro, in particular in this particular reading or deck. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle cards from my other deck just to see what's coming up and what other things we need to look at. Okay, so give me one moment. All right. Okay, so we're back. I went ahead and shuffled the cards, and we're gonna go ahead and talk about what I see here. All right, so we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. All right, so you guys have figured out that you're this isn't what you want. Whatever it is that's happening right now isn't necessarily what you want. You've decided that you've gone through it in your head. You've realized that, you're not in the place that you thought you would be, etc. So, now it's time for us to sort of make other decisions. It's time for us to sort of see, what else is out there. Like I said, in writing down where you are and where you want to be, you might find this card there. You might see that, like, things aren't necessarily uh, in the most prosperous place yet, but this is also the cards of saying it will get there, but there's a little bit more work to be done. Isn't there always, though? You're like, I am tired of this work. That's how I am a lot of times. I am tired of this work. Come on. Anyway, so we have the Five of Swords. And so if there has been conflict about, where you are, if there's been conflict about, where you need to, and where you need to be in order to obtain what you want, then this is saying to me that, like, there is going to be a resolve. You're going to find out, what it is through the process of doing the work. You're going to find out what it is that you really where you really need to be, and for some people, I have the Eight of Cups here. For some people, that actually might mean moving. It could be relocating. It could be leaving a job. It could be leaving a relationship. But this would be, you'll feel it. You'll feel the tie break. You'll feel the moment. If you haven't felt it already, you're going to be feeling it within the next month, where it is time. It's time. It's just time. This is where you're going to be making a very, very strong decision, a very decisive decision about where it is that you need to go within this next month. And so for some of you, you might actually, consider moving to a different country. For some of you, you might be making the decision, rather not thinking about making the decision to move to a different country. You guys might be making a decision to move to a different city. Again, move relationships, move jobs. You're going to be making some sort of really, really life-changing decisions. And with the eclipse that just happened, I would say the decisions that you were going to make are probably going to end up bearing fruit towards the end of the year. Um, you're gonna see definitely a really big shift, a really big change happening, and this is gonna happen, more towards the end of the year. But this is the time that you're going to start, making plans and making, and making strides towards that. The Magician. You have all of the tools you need to get exactly where you need to go. All right. You got the car, you got the money, you got the even if you don't see it right now, you have the universe. Here's the thing. The thing is that you have everything that you need. It's not about whether or not you physically have it. You possess it. It's already yours. And that's how you have to move through manifestation, through, like, with it, You have to, you can't believe that you lack in love. You have to believe that you have the love that you need. You can't lack in money. You have to believe that you have the money that you need. And the whole thing is through understanding that you are already everything that you manifest is how you are able to actually move forward like the magician. Okay. Um, we have the Eight of Pentacles here in reverse. And so there might be a few distractions along the way. There might be a few distractions, even for some people, as I've probably said, about money or love. You're like, I don't have it. You are already it. And so, if I were you, maybe starting to do things like affirmations or starting to really do work to clear that energy. I'm not endorsed by this company, but I know Daily Ohm, like Ohm, Daily Ohm has a lot of really useful and very inexpensive courses that are very, very helpful if you feel like you need to do some work with your own manifestation. And so at the bottom of the deck, I have the Tower. And so things are this Mercury retrograde going to be deep. It's going to be deep. It's going to have depth and it's not going to be shallow. And this Mercury retrograde is probably going to shake some things up, but these are necessary shakeups that need to happen in order for it to clear a way for you to build something new or build something closer to what you desire. Okay? So anyway, I hope this reading was helpful. If you want a reading, then hit me up with the information below. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and I will talk to you guys next month. Okay.